Today's show's here. You all been waiting for it. Father, Son, and Holy Sport kicking it off here, week 11.
Oh
We're
yeah, what's
halfway
going
through.
on? What's going on? How are things going? Coming to you live from the Colossus. What's going on with you, G Money?
T-Money out there in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
It's getting cold out here in Ohio, but we're pushing through it. Football weather. How about the weather you've seen in Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Cincinnati, man? It's starting to get cold.
I know. I was watching a little Maction last night on ESPN, and it was snowing in Ohio, so pretty
The
crazy
wind plays a
stuff.
factor.
I know.
On
I
these
know.
fantasy games, you throw the ball against the wind, it blows back around behind you.
Oh yeah, just look at that Cleveland game that just happened. It was like 10-7, crazy low scoring game.
Gotta play that when you guys are out there doing your fantasy picks. You got to look at the weather report. It's not just the doctor report. You got to look at the weather report too.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Ohio, we got the NBA draft tonight, so I had to rep my Cavs jersey. Hopefully they make a few good picks.
Hey, that's right. What in the heck is going on? The NBA draft's what's going on. You're right, man.
I know.
Event here, and I just saw that Clay just hurt his other leg. Part of the Splash Brothers hurt one leg a couple years ago, was out. Now hurt the other leg.
Yeah, interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the Warriors do. Hopefully, I'm just repping the city, repping the Cavs. So, crazy thing I saw this past weekend, though, was that Hail Mary. Everyone's calling it the Hail Murray, though. I mean, that was unbelievable. Last second throw to DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Jordan, and the Jumpman logo on his glove. They got a free commercial now. I mean, that was a hell of a play. What'd you think about that, man?
Hey, what a coup stealing DeAndre Hopkins from Houston
Oh
for
my
what they
gosh.
got him for. And now Murray's hooked up with him. These guys have a legitimate shot at the NFC. They could win the NFC. Who would have thought that? But there's really no clear-cut favorite out there, and those guys together, they can't be stopped.
I know. They got him for a bag of potato chips, and he's probably the best receiver in the league. It's insane. Kyler Murray's so short. If you watch the highlight again, he actually had to see if he caught it off of the jumbotron. He didn't actually see if he caught it or not. He was watching off the jumbotron. Pretty funny. So it'll be interesting. That division's tight with the Rams and the Seahawks. Definitely going to be an interesting one. So keep an eye out for that. What'd you think about Drew Brees getting hurt? Two cracked ribs on each side and a collapsed lung. I mean, how do you even breathe? I don't understand what that even means. Okay. Now Jameis is the starter. What do you think about that?
Well, Drew Brees is probably out for the year. I mean, it's a very serious injury from what I've been, studying up on this.
Really?
You don't want to puncture your lung. I know they're saying he's out for at least 2 weeks, but from what I understand, it's going to be a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
So Jameis Winston is the starter. They're going to start him. They have to start him.
100%.
And supposedly they brought him to New Orleans so that Drew could kind of coach him up because the guy was out of control at Tampa,
Yeah.
just flinging the ball around, a lot of interceptions. Now he kind of, learns under Drew. Does he come
Yeah.
out? I mean, is Jameis a waiver wire pickup here? We're going to talk about that coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm excited for Jameis get this opportunity. I hear that Drew Brees is going to be back quick, but I don't think so. Even if he does come back quick, rest him a couple extra weeks. Make sure he gets healthy. His arm's shot. Let the guy be fresh for the playoffs if he can come back. Because I think they can easily still go 12-4, win the division, get to the playoffs. Then you throw Drew Brees in there to close everything out, almost like Peyton Manning did back in the day with Paxton Lynch, if you remember.
All right, what else you got, man? What else is going on in the world? We want to catch one more thing, maybe?
Yeah. What did you think about the Patriots beating the Ravens this past weekend? I mean, I think that's a big deal. I know it was in a monsoon of a rain fest there, but Patriots showing some life. Ravens slowly declining. I mean, that was a big swing of events just on both of their seasons.
I mean, you knew New England was going to come, no matter how bad they looked. And you start looking at Coach of the Year. If New England pulls this out and gets into the playoffs, Bill Belichick could be up for Coach of the Year. I mean, the guy is doing it with just stringing people together.
Wow, I never even thought of that as Bill Belichick Coach of the Year this year. That is a great take. I mean, he definitely could be after that horrible start, too. I mean, I thought they would for sure start tanking, get crushed by the Ravens. Yeah, that's an interesting take, and I think he definitely could be and should be if they turn the season around and make the playoffs. Have to catch the Bills. They got a big lead on them in that division, and Miami looks strong, but it's not out of the question.
Not out of the question. Let's keep going here. Let's go to our first trivia hosted by Woundwise IQ. Woundwise IQ is our sponsor of Trivia of the Week. And Woundwise IQ is a patented mobile imaging analytics software that helps physicians and nurses care for people with chronic wounds. It's image analytics. It's artificial intelligence, T-Money. That's what's making Woundwise work. But hey, here's our first Trivia of the Week. We're going to ask you the question. We're going to give you the answer later on. Question for you, T, is who has the best quarterback win percentage in prime time? That includes Thursday since 2000. Minimum 10 starts. Best quarterback win percentage in prime time since 2000.
Very interesting here. I'm just seeing this live just like you guys all are out there listening and watching. So I obviously know it's not Kirk Cousins because before last night or this past Monday, he had never won a primetime game, just so everyone knows that little factoid. I mean, am I crazy to say Patrick Mahomes? I mean, this guy hasn't lost a game, and when he did, he lost to like the Raiders this year on a random Sunday, and he's winning 12 games. He's got to have the best primetime record. He's who I'd lean to right now. If not, it's got to be Tom Brady. Tom Brady's my runner-up here just because he's played for so long and the Patriots have won so many games, but I'm leaning towards Patrick. It feels like a trick question.
We got Mahomes for T-Money. We're going to write that down.
But my concern is he might have not played 10 games. So if not, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's your second choice, and we will answer that later. All of you out there, we're trying to create some fun and interesting things for everybody. Hey, we're jumping right in here, giving you a chance. Think about this question, everybody. We're going to give you the answer in a few minutes here as we roll on into some of our games here. You're going to love our games, and the first one is, this is Ross v. Ross, a new segment to our show where Tyler and I kind of banter back and forth. And the first question is, will the Steelers go undefeated? T-Money, there's their remaining schedule. You can see week 11 through week 17, ending up with the Browns. What do you think, man? Do they go undefeated?
I think they do. I mean, they're 9-0.
Okay.
They got 7 games left. They've already beaten the Ravens. The Jags is a win. Washington's a win. The Bengals are a win. And I know what people want to talk about the Browns. No, they crushed the Browns last time, 38-7. So I'm not concerned. I think they got a fairly easy schedule, few tough games, but I think they go undefeated.
I give him a lot of respect. I had Big Ben on my team, and I threw him off my fantasy team after he had one bad week. I probably shouldn't have done that. But hey, here's the facts, man. You know I'm an analytics guy. You know, CBS Sports runs the simulation thousands of times, okay? They look at Pittsburgh after they're up 7-0. They're 7-0. They run the simulation. Pittsburgh comes out only 5% of the time that they go undefeated. Regular season. Only 5%, okay? Where will they lose? There's 2 spots they're going to lose or potentially lose. Week 12 versus the Ravens. Week 12 versus the Ravens. The Steelers won 28-24 on November 1 against the Ravens. Very close game. Only 50% of the time do they win that game in the simulation. The other close game is Week 14 at the Bills. Only 50% chance of winning that Bills game. Those are the 2 games on a simulation. Only really a 5% chance to run the table there. And I know they're a special team, but, man, it's awful tough to run the table.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely going to say that the Ravens was an interesting game. That is by far the one that I am most concerned about for the Steelers if I'm them. And that's why I think they get up big for this game because it's a divisional game. They know that if they win that, they could potentially go undefeated or get the 1 seed locked up. And it's an interesting one. Lamar Jackson turned the ball over a ton that last game. So they were very, very fortunate. They let the Ravens run for over 200 yards or something like that. I mean, The Ravens won that game statistically. The Steelers were lucky to win. That's why I think they can bounce back knowing the things that they messed up on. They're not going to take it for granted. Seeing that turnover margin, battle won, they know that they didn't play their best. I think that's an interesting one. The Bills I'm not too concerned about, man. I just don't trust Josh Allen late in the season in cold weather Buffalo. I'm trusting Big Ben in this spot. I
Big
mean,
Ben, it just seems like Big Ben is on a mission here.
yeah.
I mean, the guy's just got it in his heart, and he's got the skill. I think he's going to pull it out one last time in his career here.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our picks of the week. T Money and I 5-1 last week, everybody.
All right.
Are
Watch
you
out.
taking our picks to the fantasy bank? I mean, 5-1, y'all. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got this week for you. We're the place to go for the picks for fantasy. Let's start off with T Money's lock of the week coming up here in week 11.
Yeah. My first pick of the week, I definitely think Cleveland's going to destroy Philadelphia. I know that it was a close game last weekend with Houston, and that might have scared some people, low scoring. J.J. Watt's still one of the best pass rushers in the league, so he's going to pressure, Baker Mayfield. Philadelphia's secondary is horrendous. Their pass rush is mediocre. I think they could easily win this game. Carson Wentz is playing like the 34th best quarterback in the league, and there's only 32 teams. I just think Deshaun is a better player than Wentz was. If they can contain Deshaun the way they did, Wentz should be an easy one for them. I think Cleveland easily wins this game by 3.5.
I mean, that's good pick. I like it. Both teams are kind of at that point where they both have to win. They're both in the hunt if they can win this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say my lock of the week is Miami, -3.5. They're traveling to Denver. Hey, don't look now, but the Dolphins are a half game back of Buffalo, everybody, in the AFC East. Miami's 3-0 Team Money, straight up and against the spread with Tua leading as starting quarterback. They've won by an average of 14 points a game during their current 5-game winning streak. They go out on the road to Denver where they've lost their quarterback. The Broncos have lost their last 2 games by 32 points. Their last 2 games combined, they've lost by 32 points. Denver's 1-3 straight up at home with their lone win coming by 1 point. Remember that game with the Chargers?
Yeah.
18-point. Oh, my gosh. That one they should have lost. They should be 0-4 straight up at home.
Yeah.
This one's going to Miami.
Yep, I agree with you here. I think this is a good one. Going to be interesting, though, to see how Tua plays in this cold weather from Hawaii. Then he played at Alabama and in the SEC in the South. If it's a snowstorm, does Denver have a shot? Obviously, Miami's defense is good, but Denver's is sneaky good. They got a top 10 defense, and so I think it could be a very interesting battle if the weather is bad. So watch out for Denver there.
He's not using Devontae Parker, man. He's got to use Devontae Parker.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Devontae.
So my next lock of the week here, though, is I think New England is going to beat Houston by more than 2.5. Houston pretty much looks like they're done for the season. They look like they have no fight in them. I mean, they couldn't put up more than 7 points on the Browns. And New England's got a little spark of life here. Little spark of life after beating the Ravens. I think they're going to be excited, fired up to potentially make a run at this. Bill Belichick's obviously a genius at shutting down quarterbacks' best weapons. So Will Fuller taken out of the game, or Duke Johnson, whoever you want. He's going to take one aspect of their offense out of the game. So I don't think that they could beat New England here. That's it doesn't look good for them.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I like that pick. I'm going to do the over-under lock. Over-under lock, our Dan Wren special. Dan, thanks for the messages you sent out to us about making sure we pick an over-under lock. Here's our over-under lock. Arizona under at Seattle. This is a rematch of Week 7 game that went to overtime. It was high scoring. I don't think this one's going high scoring. You know why? I think that the Seattle is going to change their game. You look at Russ, 7 interceptions in the last 4 games. They lost 3 of the 4. What did they do? What have they been known for? The running game, grind it out with Chris Carson. Chris is out. Got to go with Carlos Hyde. Okay, they're going to grind it out, throw little short passes. I think Seattle's going to try to slow this game down if they can do it, if they don't get behind too fast. And I think because of game script, I think that Arizona's, winning. They got momentum, and Seattle's going in the other direction. They got to slow it down. That's why I think it's going under.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Went to overtime last time they played. That's why it obviously hit the over. It was just a high scoring game. It's going to be interesting on the over under here. Because they are such high powered offense with horrible defenses. But I agree with you. Long shot of the week here, which I'm 2-0 on in back-to-back weeks, is Arizona at Seattle. I just think Arizona's on a hot streak, and Kyler Murray looks like a beast out there, and Russell Wilson has fallen apart. 10 turnovers in the last 4 games. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So, yeah, I think this is an easy long shot. If you're going to tease it down for them to win straight up, you get better odds there. So I definitely think this could be a great long shot bet for anybody.
Yeah, bottom line is Arizona's the better team, and they're getting 3. I'm taking that Arizona +3.
Yep.
All right, man, let's move on to our hot and cold blitz. Hot and cold. These are the hot stars of the game and the cold stars of the game. These are the guys you all have on your starting lineup. What do we think is going to happen here? If you're struggling with who you should start, maybe this will give you some indication from T-Money and I. Look at our picks. 12-8 last 2 weeks. Now, if you were to bet and win 12-8, you're going to make some money. That's a good round of successes there, T-Money. So let's start off. We're going to cover the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the wide receivers. You guys can see the tight end and the defenses there. But we're only going to cover 6 of these right now, starting off with the quarterback that I think is going to be hot, Aaron Rodgers. Everybody's on the A-Raj train. You like that, T-Money? A-Raj. All right. He's supposed to get 18.6 points this week, according to ESPN. I think he's going to exceed that, and that's why I'm picking him as hot. He's exceeded 300 passing yards in back-to-back weeks. He does not get sacked. He's not going to get rattled like Tannehill. Okay,
Yeah,
Tannehill went up against Indianapolis. He got all rattled and didn't do it. That's not going to happen with Green Bay and with Rodgers. Lazard's back. My man Lazard is back. So now they got Lazard. MVS has revitalized himself. And that's Devontae. And they got a receiving core that's unbelievable. Last 4 games, here's the points PPR for Rodgers, 27, 23, 29, 25. He's only projected for 18.6. No way, baby.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I thought about Aaron Rodgers actually for my cold pick potentially because they're going up against such a stud of a defense in Indianapolis. But, Phillip Rivers, turns the ball over so much that I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to have so many chances. So I like the pick. I definitely think he's going to get. If they're going to win the game, he's got to score at least 20 fantasy points. So it'll be interesting. My QB though, I'm going to double down on Deshaun Watson for the 2nd week in a row here.
As your cold pick.
Yeah, as my cold pick here. I just think he's going up against a New England defense that's revitalized. Like I said, Bill Belichick is just so smart at scheming against whatever he wants to take away. That aspect of the game will be taken away, whether it's Will Fuller or your tight end, or they were able to contain Lamar Jackson's running ability in the New England game. So you'd think that they could do the same to Deshaun Watson. I think that he's definitely my cold pick of the week.
Hey, I'm going back to my hot pick, running back Nick Chubb. 14.3 projected points on ESPN. I think he's going to beat that. The guy had a great game last week against the Texans. He could have scored a 2nd touchdown. He runs out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Did you see that?
Oh, my God.
If I
That was crazy.
On my fantasy team, I would have died.
Oh, yeah. That was insane. I think the biggest thing about that, too, is if he had scored, the line was at 3.5. They were up by 3. So that changed the whole betting line as well. So fantasy and bettors got to be upset with Nick Chubb. But hey, he just made sure his team won. You can't hate the guy.
I know. He had 18.6 fantasy points before he ran out of bounds. That guy would have killed it last week. He's going to kill it again this week.
Yeah.
All right, who's your cold running back, T?
I got James Robinson here from Jacksonville.
Wow.
They're going up against the Steelers. They are the number one defense against the run. The number one defense. They shut down people, man. No one scores on them. And he's projected at 16.5. I don't know if that's because Minshew's still out, but Minshew's been out the past couple games. Over the last over the last 6 games, he's gone over 15 points one time. How is he projected at 16? It doesn't make sense to me. Number one defense. Hasn't scored over even 15 other than one game in the past 6 games. I mean, I just think this is an easy pick. He hasn't even shown that he could do this consistently, so easy pick for me.
Good points. I love that guy. I love the way he runs. I love to watch him. I wish he was on my team.
Yeah.
But you're making some good points there, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Adam Thielen for my wide receiver hot. I mean, if you guys saw him play on Monday Night Football, the one-handed catch. Did you guys see that?
That was nice. Looked like T-Money out there, you know. It reminds me of myself. Yeah,
T-Money back in the day in the Pee Wee League.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was amazing. I mean, the guy's just got so much talent. He's through 9 games now. He's got 9 touchdowns, okay? 20 points last week. He's projected for 14-5 versus Dallas at home. A Dallas defense allowed 21 passing touchdowns this season. I think he's getting a touchdown. He's going over that 14-5.
Yeah, Dallas defense is horrible. This easily it could be over. Adam Thielen could have a monster day. Quietly, he's got a great receiver on the other side over there. That rookie Justin Jefferson's really opening things up for him because he's so talented. So it's been a great addition after losing Stephon Diggs. It was a great addition. So I like Thielen there a lot. I'm going with Cooper Kupp though. Cooper Kupp is my cold pick here. They're going up against the Bucs, and that's a very good pass rush, very underrated pass rush there. I think it's going to give Jared Goff fits, who hasn't been playing great. And over the last 5 games, Cooper Kupp's been over 12 one time. Over 12. I mean, and he had a touchdown a few of those games, so it's not even like it's reliable 12. You know, I just don't see Cooper Kupp getting it here.
Goff loves Josh Reynolds. He keeps throwing to Josh Reynolds.
He does.
Why does he keep throwing to
Josh
that guy?
Reynolds.
Does he room with him or something? He loves that guy.
He does.
I mean, Cooper's not getting any love out there.
I know. He loves those two in the tight ends, man. So they just spread the ball around too much because they do have phenomenal talent. They just spread the ball too much for any one person to have big games.
Got to get Cooper the ball. Hey, let's move on, T. Great picks there. Great discussion. Moving on to lemons to lemonade. As we work our way down our agenda, you can see we're getting near the finish here. Everybody get excited. But before that, hey, who were those lemons that we want to turn into lemonade? They're out there on the waiver wire. We change this up a little bit. Look at our percent rostered, okay? Those are the guys on this page are rostered less than 50% of leagues, have them rostered on their team. So we're giving you some tips here on people you should go on to the waiver wire that we think have potential. The big board is down at the bottom. Those, as always, are our top 20 waiver wire pickups. But we take that, and up at the top are the 5 ranked top 5 waiver wire pickups. And starting off with T-Money, Ahmed from Miami. What do you think? 12.9% rostered in the ESPN fantasy leagues.
Yeah, I think this is a easy pickup, especially if you have someone on a bye or someone's injured. If you have Gaskin like I do, pick him up. He had 16 points last week. Howard just got cut. He's like the lone back there because Breida is not doing anything. He ran all over the Chargers. He looked great if you watched the game. I think he's definitely the number 1 pickup.
I tried to get him. He was gone before I could get him. So was Jacoby Myers, my number 2 recommendation. Rostered in 40% as of today. It was probably lower than that before today, but 40% as of today. We're recording this thing, T-Money, on Wednesday. You guys will all hear it on Thursday. So that Thursday night game, that big Thursday night game, when you're listening to this, it's going to be tonight. Jacoby Myers, 40% rostered. He's the number 1 guy in New England. Now, how many guys in your team are number 1 that you have on your fantasy team? He's their top receiver. Cam Newton loves this guy. We talked about Josh Reynolds and Goff. Cam, the only wide receiver targeted in the last game. Targeted.
Yeah, that is
Come
insane.
on, man.
That is a crazy stat.
Who's your number 3?
I think it's Ballage from the Chargers. He was on my waiver pickup last week, but surprisingly, not a lot of people are picking him up. He did great. He easily beat his projection of 14. I think he's clearly the number one back until Eckler comes back there. I think he's a definite pickup, and you could start him in most leagues. He's seems pretty reliable.
Hey, word on the street is he's going to become the early down back. He's going to run the ball on first and second down, and then Eckler comes in for the pass. So he could have a long-term role there once Eckler comes back. So that's why he's more of a longer-term pick than someone like Ahmed, who probably will lose his job to Gaskin.
Yeah, yep, I like that, and his catches went up as well from 2 to 5, so they're starting to utilize him in the pass game as well. But hey, I got Eckler in one of my leagues that I'm trying to defend a championship in here, so let's not get too excited about Ballage. Let's hope Eckler gets all the touches.
Well, T Money won a championship last year. I won a championship last year. We're both trying to defend our titles. We're
yeah.
Into real live stuff here, guys.
I mean, we're big deals here. I mean,
it's Father, Son, and Holy Sport.
Yes, we don't mess around. All right, what's your next guy here?
Hey, number 4, Carlos Hyde. Man, this is evolving. Like I said, we record on Wednesday. We just found out today that Carson did not practice today, and he's got a questionable designation. Carson's not going to start. That's the word on the street. Adam Schefter just tweeted out, this guy's very unlikely to start. That means Hyde. I went out and grabbed Hyde today for my team.
Hey, smart man.
That guy is starting. 12% rostered. He's available, guys. If you're in the league, go get him. He's starting, and Homer's out. Homer's third string guy.
Yeah,
Homer's out. And this is Carlos Hyde, man.
I agree. And for those of you thinking DJ Dallas is still the guy there, that's not it. I mean, he was the guy because the 3 running backs ahead of him were all hurt. So it's definitely Hyde's backfield now. Smart play going to pick him up, G. My last guy here, though, if you're on the quarterback carousel looking for someone to make a big playoff push, Jameis Winston is going to be a great pickup here. Okay? He has Michael Thomas as his best receiver, Emmanuel Sanders, great second option, and Alvin Kamara's his dump off, who's setting reception records for New Orleans here. He led the league in passing last year. This is a QB1 potential. I mean, this guy could be top 5 week to week while Drew Brees is out. I think it's a no-brainer pickup if you don't have someone that can be a formidable starter each week.
This is certainly so intriguing, this whole thing. I almost picked him up, but I'm not going to start him. But I almost picked him up. If I had room on the bench, I would have grabbed him. But
yeah.
Man, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in New Orleans, what they do. Can Jameis take them to the title land? I mean, that would be amazing. Let's get going here. That's Lemons to Lemonade. There's your top 5 guys that are not rostered, at least 50%. Let's move on here to Ross v. Ross, our second Ross v. Ross battle. Who will win the NFL MVP? And I put up here, T, on DraftKings, $100 bet. These are your top 4. You bet 100 on Mahomes right now, you win 180. You bet 100 on Murray, you win 700. So Mahomes is the favorite right now to win the NFL MVP, and those are the other 3 behind him. So what are your thoughts, man? Who wins the NFL MVP if you had to pick today?
So I'm going to take this in 2 different directions here. First, I think that Kyler Murray, if he stays on this pace, is going to win the MVP. Okay? He's outperforming what Lamar did in every aspect of Lamar's season last year. But Dalvin Cook should win this MVP. Okay? He should win this MVP. The dude's averaging 120 yards a game rushing, 25 reception yards, almost 150 total yards a game. Okay? This guy is demolishing defenses. Demolishing.
He really does.
I mean, he looks unbelievable. If you just eye test him, he looks like the best running back in the game by far. He's catching passes as well, 80% catch rate, 13 total touch. I mean, this guy, he's carrying the Vikings. Carrying them.
He is amazing. He was held up the last game a little bit, though. They did keep him in check there with Chicago's defense, but
that's a great defense, though. That's a great defense. I think Chicago's defense, if they had a quarterback that they could rally around, would actually be the number 1 defense in the NFL. So I don't sleep on Chicago's defense. They just have a horrible starting quarterback.
I like your pick. I just don't think he can win that MVP. I'm going to go with Mahomes. He's the favorite.
Oh, yeah. Take the favorite, Gary. Take the favorite.
You
Yeah,
know,
take the favorite.
hey, first of all, you got to be on a winning team. Kansas City's 8-1. They're in first place. He's on a winning team. If you look at some of these other guys, I think that Murray is going to beat Wilson, and that'll be the second time he beats him tonight, Thursday night. Murray's going to beat Wilson. Wilson's out after that. Murray would be the
Yep.
legitimate favorite ahead of Wilson.
Yeah.
So then you say, was it Murray's or at Holmes? Murray will be 7-4. They'll be in first place if they win Thursday night. The votes at the end of the regular season. It's not the end of the playoffs. So they vote at the end of the regular season. I just think Mahomes is in great place here with his team. The other thing is, Mahomes won the title in 2018. He won the MVP in 2018. He wins the title. New England won the title last year. Lamar leads them. Not New England, I'm sorry. Baltimore Ravens. Lamar won the MVP, but New England won the title last year.
New England won the year before. Patrick Mahomes won last year, and the title.
No, I'm talking about MVP.
Okay.
We're getting a little bit tied up there. But I just think that Mahomes coming into the AFC title last year and losing to New England in the title game.
That was 2 years ago.
Was
Mahomes won the championship last year.
Okay.
He won the MVP the year before.
Won the MVP the year before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. A little bit of bitterness there, man. But if you look at the stats of Mahomes over these 3 years, 2018, 2019, 2020, he's going to set the all-time NFL record for stats.
Oh, yeah, he's going to blow stats away here. I think the other thing Mahomes has going for him, obviously, if the Steelers don't go undefeated, he'll have the best record in the NFL because I don't see them losing another game. Or if they do, God forbid, it'll be one. And then he has one interception on the year right now. 25 touchdowns, one interception. So Patrick Mahomes could easily run away with this right now halfway through the season. But I got to go with my man Dalvin Cook again. I mean, could this team make the playoffs if they're 3-0 in their last 3 games and Kirk Cousins is horrible? Like, I love Adam Thielen. I love Justin Jefferson. They're not winning any games if they have an average running back there. If James Robinson's back there, no. If Ballage is back there, no. Just name any running back. I don't think Mixon or Hunt change this game. Dalvin Cook is dynamic. He is explosive. He looks like the best player on the field every game he plays. He should be in this conversation, and it blows my mind he's not even in the odds eyes. It's always got to be a quarterback. Last point I'll make here is he is on pace for close to 2,000 yards rushing. Peterson, the last guy that won the MVP, had 2,097 yards last year. Or last time a running back won. Now, Dalvin's catching the ball a little bit more, so I give him the nod there. But he already has 13 total touchdowns to Adrian Peterson's 12 touchdowns through the year. So he's scoring more. I just want
to have a guy on my team, my fantasy team, that gets the ball like him, man. That guy gets so many touches.
Yeah.
They just want to feed him the ball because of what you said. And I just want a guy on my team like that one time. Yeah. I've never had a stud running back like that.
It's fun when you can rely on him.
Cook, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's such a big edge. Hey, let's keep moving here. Wound-wise trivia of the week. Here we go, y'all. Getting ready to wrap things up here for Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Have you had a good time, everybody? Team, are you having a good time?
I'm having a good time. I still don't think I got this right because I don't think I hit the minimum starts here. But, let's see what this answer is. I'm really intrigued to see what you got.
We held this out, so T does not know the answer, but he picks Mahomes as number 1, potentially Tommy as number 2. Let's see what happens. Russell Wilson.
Oh, man.
77%.
I mean, the dude is clutch, so it does not surprise me at all. But, hey, my guy is down there at number 4.
You got TB1. You got TB1 at 69%, tied with Big Ben. Peyton at 73%. Russell, who plays tonight, can he pull it out against Murray? We've been talking about it all night. It's going to be a great game, man. I can't wait to watch Thursday night football.
Going to be an awesome game.
Sweet. So, hey, man, we're wrapping up the show here. Want to thank our sponsor, Woundwise IQ. Want to thank y'all for coming out here and listening. And we ask that you just, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. We're getting up to, a few hundred followers on Instagram, trying to get more subscribers going on YouTube. Come on, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for listening. This was a great week. Excited for the NBA draft and Thursday Night Football. Like G-Man said, smash that like button and subscribe button, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
All right. See you later, G-Man.
Go get it, fantasy